Hey everyone, so my video on where will NIO stock price be 1 year from now was so popular and I got so many requests that now I'm doing where will NIO's stock price be 2 years from now. So in this video, I'm going to answer where I think NIO's stock price will be by the end of 2025. And we're going to compare with my previous video where I made the estimates for 1 year from now. You're going to see how things have changed since then dramatically. And you're going to see why NIO's stock price has changed since then dramatically as well. So let's dig into these details and let's try and make an estimate for where NIO's stock price could be in a couple of years.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
All right, so far in 2024, NIO's stock price has not had a good time, heading straight downwards, starting the year at a little over $9 per share and losing a little more than a third of its value down to $6 per share. That's a dramatic increase in a short period of time. I should say decrease, a dramatic decrease in a short period of time. So this is one of the numbers we need if we're going to make a prediction on where NIO's stock price could be in a couple of years. We need the stock price as of today. So as of this recording, this is NIO's stock price. We're going to use this as one of our inputs in our estimation. We're also going to use the analyst estimate for where they think revenue will be in 2025. Here we have the revenue estimate of 104.14 billion yuan. That's what Wall Street analysts that are following NIO stock predict its revenue will be. So that's an increase from 56 billion in 2023, jumping to 75 billion in 2024, and then jumping again to 104 billion in 2025. So you could see there are robust growth expectations built in to what Wall Street expects from NIO. So we're not looking at this as a company that's going to be stagnant. We're already forecasting and estimating that the company will grow revenue by 30 billion between 2024 and 2025, and then 19 billion in 2024. So you get 19 billion of revenue growth and then 30 billion in revenue growth yuan in the next 2 years. We're also going to need NIO's price to sales ratio. As of this recording, NIO's price to sales ratio is down to 1.313. That's the cheapest this stock has been according to this metric. Going back at least 1 year, let's see longer term. Going back 3 years as well, this is as cheap as this stock has been according to this valuation metric, and you can see it heading straight down. It used to trade at a price to sales of over 3.2. Now that's gone down all the way to 1.313. This is a result of not just NIO's struggles to generate profitability on the bottom line, but the EV industry overall, as price wars intensified in 2023 and now continue into 2024. Tesla recently announced even more price cuts and others will likely follow. Although NIO management has said they're not going to participate in price cutting, but that's a choice that management is making. If you're not going to cut your prices and your competition is going to cut their prices, they're going to gain market share. While you might lose market share, your profits are likely to be better. Your profit margins will be better because you're not cutting prices. So it's a choice. Do you want to keep market share or do you want to keep your profit margin? And most companies right now in the EV space are choosing to cut prices to make sales because they've built these manufacturing facilities that can produce way more cars than they're currently selling. So they want to produce more and sell more, even if that means selling at lower prices. And so those forces have brought down investor optimism for the EV industry overall. And you're going to see that when I show you my estimates here. All right, so here I have my estimates, my valuation model estimates for NIO stock. Let me start by pointing your attention up here to the top left-hand corner. You can see the total revenue estimate for 2024. When I did my video on where NIO stock price will be 1 year from now, the estimates were for 2024 revenue to come in at 76.68 billion yuan. and that's dropped to 75.48 billion yuan. So analysts have grown more pessimistic about NIO's 2024 revenue estimate, and then even more so for 2025. Previously, this estimate for revenue was for 108.45 billion in 2025. Those estimates have decreased to 104.14 billion in yuan for 2025. And I'm getting those numbers from these estimates here: 75.48, 104.14. These estimates update as Wall Street analysts update their forecast. So these estimates move up and down depending on Wall Street analysts and their forecast. So when Wall Street becomes more pessimistic, these numbers will move down. And so that's what's happened with NIO over the last several weeks. And that's why NIO's stock price is down by more than 33% year to date here in 2024. So let's move on. So now here are the newer estimates: 75.48 billion total revenue and 104.14 billion in total yuan revenue expected for 2025. The exchange rate I'm using to convert yuan to US is 7.3, and I got that directly from NIO. NIO management told investors the exchange rate that they're using to convert, and so I pulled this number directly from NIO. And so when I convert that to US dollars, I get the expectations, the estimates at 10.345 billion in 2024 and 14.273 billion in 2025. Here I have NIO's diluted shares outstanding, and I got this directly from NIO also from their financial statement. So if we take NIO's expected revenue in 2025 and we divide it by the diluted shares outstanding, we get a sales per share number of $8.22. That's the number I'm going to use here, the $8.22. I got that from this calculation here. Okay, the price to sales ratio of 1.313, I'm getting directly from the current NIO price to sales ratio of 1.313. Okay, so all that being said, if NIO hits these targets for 2024 and 2025 as currently estimated, and its valuation stays the same at 1.313, NIO's stock price could be $10.79 2 years from now in 2025. That would be a nice improvement from the current $6.05 it's trading at. It would be almost double the current valuation, up to $10.79. That's if trends stay the same. But what if investors are more optimistic about NIO stock and the price to sales ratio increases to 1.6? Well, that could increase the stock price to $13.15 by the end of 2025. But what if investors are willing to pay a price to sales ratio of 2 for NIO stock? In fact, when I previously did my first NIO stock price prediction video a few weeks ago, you can see here my number is still here. NIO's price to sales ratio was 2.02 at that time. 2.02. So its valuation was trading at 2. So what if it returns to that level, to 2? And it is on pace to hit this $8.22 in 2025. In that case, its stock price could rise all the way up to $16.44, a considerable increase from where it is now. And finally, what if there's a bear case? What if investors, instead of wanting to pay 1.3, if the downtrend continues for NIO and they only want to pay a price to sales of 0.8? Well, even in that case, if it achieves the sales per share that it's expected to achieve, that it's forecasted to achieve, its stock price will be $6.58, which would be a roughly 10% increase from where it is now. So even in the bear case scenario, NIO's stock price, according to my estimate, is likely to be higher by the end of 2025. Now take this with a grain of salt, because these are a lot of estimates and assumptions used to make these valuation predictions. And NIO stock, as you are probably already aware, is a risky stock. It's a risky company. It's losing a lot of money on the bottom line, and we don't know precisely what will happen over the next 2 years. It could be significantly higher than what I'm saying. It can also be significantly lower than what I'm saying. These are just my best estimates, my best guesses based on the numbers I have available from industry forecasts and current valuations. If you liked the video you just saw and you want to see more just like it, please subscribe to the channel. I can't keep this channel free without the support of viewers like you. And if you're already subscribed, thank you, and I appreciate your support.